Hey everybody, got a bit of a small update to show you today, but I'm happy to be able to share it with you. I've been continuing to work on this small strip of land along this reconfigured side of the city, and I have finished well, at least for now, the connection of the rock kind of pile all the way around to the edge. So I've got water coming all the way up to this corner, so that basically fills in the area of the new water space for the small marina. And I've started to figure out a pattern. Well, I did figure out a pattern that's going to be a repeating pattern for the sound deadening wall that'll be going up here. That will help to protect residents on the other side once that all gets completely redone. These are obviously temporary buildings there, but once again, I have run out of parts, even though I just very recently got a bunch of masonry bricks in for the... I actually got extras, more than I needed, for the music store and the laser tag arena place. I also had gotten some dark tan, but I'm completely out of dark tan again. I actually took some out of another set that's waiting to be disassembled. But yeah, they'll just continue across. It's an exact repeating pattern that looks random enough. It's inspired by real ones that I've actually seen. And that'll continue all the way down here out towards this kind of area. Things will start to change a little bit out there. I don't think it'll go all the way to the very end of the street. But then also I've taken out a bunch of the debris that was here. Not all of it. I mean, there's still some mess, but you know what? It was shocking how much debris was left over from the destruction of the old edge of the table that was here before. It didn't seem like that much stuff. Like, I remember building, especially the incline that I put in for the rail line when it was right here on the edge of the table. And, you know, it took some time. And I remember I needed to add in some additional green plates to fit on the tops of the brown bricks that I used to build up the terrain, you know, to get that green surface. Also some green bricks for the inside edges. But man, just the amount, just the volume of stuff you just don't understand until until either you have to move it or you have to take it away or completely change it. What I did was fill up 2 of these bins, these larger drawers, big old ones, filled up 2 of these with just the stuff that was left over from the destruction. So that all needs to be taken apart further. But, you know, big chunks of terrain that were attached to base plates. I took and liberated all the old base plates because I had been using some duplicates for the time, but got some of those back into circulation to use for some of the area over here, and just took a lot of the mass of stuff away and a lot of the mass of parts that I had taken out. You know, the last couple times I was in here and showed you the floor, there were just parts bins all over the place, and I just have a few over here for when I was working on the little wall briefly there. But that's good to have more space to work around. Ultimately, it just means that I'm going to have space to bring in even more stuff now to start moving over towards this edge here. But the key thing that I've been focusing on up to now is getting this part of the edge of the city in. I do need to finish up that wall there, but that's going to require obviously a bricklink order to get more pieces in. So while I'm waiting for that, I'm going to move back down to the train yard out here, and I've been putting a little bit more thought into this, and I've decided what I'm going to try to do to make things actually make a little bit more sense, since I have this time to kind of start kind of from scratch. I mean, technically I could change all of this out if I wanted to. I already obviously have to some extent, but what I wanted to try to do here is dedicate this section, basically this yard here. I might turn it into just a single switch coming into a more complex system down here. I'm not sure exactly how that's going to work out, but dedicate this just to the passenger line. You know, so all stuff related to the passenger trains, and, you know, just kind of have that consistent color scheme for all the stuff here. And then I would put the train wash over here because I think it would make more sense with the passenger related stuff. Obviously, you don't need to do a lot of cleaning of freight cars. It's pretty rare, except just as needed for specific types of commodities that are transported. They might clean something out when it's done if it's something that needs to be clean, for like food stuff, transportation and such. But yeah, try to put in a building over here that would be like a maintenance shop. That would probably take up most of this space here, and then hopefully have enough room for a train washout here, or possibly down over here. It'll be a little bit more cramped than I would like it to be, but it just makes much more sense to do that. Possibly I would have the wash on the outside or something, but I'll kind of mess around with this a little bit. And then all this over here will be dedicated to just cargo related stuff, and then the train wash would not be over here. Ideally, given the amount of space that I have here, it'd be better to put the train wash over here. That's what I've been planning, that's what I've been hoping to do for a long time, but I just don't know if it's going to make as much sense as putting it over here with the passenger related stuff. I am going to allow myself to store the Amtrak train over here, just kind of consider that to be a leased parking space, basically, for whatever that company is, because I kind of in universe, I don't know if it would be directly related. Just because it's passenger service doesn't mean it would be directly related to the company that runs this mostly intercity line, and service in general. So that may just stay over there. It needs a lot of space, and it's much better to reserve that space over here for more interesting looking stuff. And then I would have to have probably just an access road, like a long driveway, just past or kind of through the industrial area. And it'll be good to have a building over here as well. I think that'll make sense and will help to expand this industrial area and make it look like there's not just as much pure train stuff, just pure rail, parking space basically. And then I will still have my planned engine shop somewhere down at that end, but by moving the requirement for the train wash down over to this side, it'll open up a little bit more space and probably some more options for what I can do for the engine house down there. Maybe make it a little bit larger than I was planning, but I don't want to make it too big. But it allows me to kind of at least have a little bit more room to play around with these lines in here, possibly make that a little bit more compact again and hold more things. So that's what I'm going to be working on next down here, stuff that I enjoy. It's not going to be all that interesting for a while, because I'm mostly just going to be doing planning for it, set up the rails, and then I won't be doing the buildings, like the maintenance building for the passenger line. That's not going to be done yet. The engine house isn't going to be done yet, because I finished the major stuff, or actually soon I will have finished the major stuff that I wanted to get in over here on this side. As soon as I get that wall in, then I'll just go ahead and switch back to the music shop and laser tag arena building and get that finished up. So I'll be able to get back to that, and then we'll proceed from there. So that's what it's looking like. This is what I've done so far. I'm happy with the progress, and obviously I need to do some custom boats to put over there, but the terrain worked out probably a little bit better than I had hoped, and I'll be doing a little bit more work with the train yard, which I always enjoy. Then I'll get to work on that music shop, laser tag, get that thing done, and that's going to get placed over there where right now the fire station is kind of sitting awkwardly. So then when that gets placed in, I'll also be deciding on exactly where and how the firehouse will be stationed. The fire station will be stationed in its new location, and that'll allow things to start to move on. So there you go. Just wanted to show you that. As always, these things are not as impressive as they feel like. A lot more work goes into this than it feels like kind of is justified with what you see, but that's just how it goes. Thank you for watching. More updates to come, and I'll talk to you again soon.